Welcome back to the Kosi Arsenal channel. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. Big Super Sunday is back and Arsenal take on Manchester United in one of the biggest rivalries we always have in a season. And although this game really means nothing, Arsenal and Manchester United will always be a big game and I'm looking forward to it this Sunday. So in this video, I want to dive into what the game really means, what Arsenal should do to beat Manchester United. Can we beat Manchester United? Is it really important for us to win this game and build momentum, or should we focus on PSV and just the UEFA Champions League? Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. So this Sunday, Arsenal will be visiting Manchester United at the Old Trafford in a game that is pretty much pointless. And I don't want to say pointless because Arsenal are out of the race, but also it's pointless because Manchester United this campaign really have nothing they're fighting for. They're just fighting to stay up. They're just fighting to complete the season so they can get into the transfer window and probably work on their problems under Ruben Amorim. But this has always been a big fixture. This has always been a big game, especially on the side of Arsenal. Now with Manchester United, it's a game that they've always won. It's a game that they've always picked up points under Sir Alexander Ferguson. But ever since the revolution, ever since he left, Arsenal have been dominating this fixture for quite a while. And this weekend, I don't expect anything different. I expect Arsenal to continue winning and dominating this fixture as far as I'm concerned. Now, of course, there is that blip that happened in the FA Cup where Manchester United somehow, with a red card, managed to go over Arsenal. I don't know how that happened, but it showed our bad record in cup competitions and bad record in games that actually really matter. But I think this is a game that Arsenal will be pretty much relaxed, and we're also coming off the back of a 7-0 thumping of PSV. So I think after beating PSV 7-1, you come into this game with a little bit more confidence, and Manchester United, having played on Thursday, they have something to focus on. They drew 1-1 with Real Sociedad in Spain. If they want to qualify for the quarterfinals of the Europa League, they might focus. They must focus on the game that's coming on next Thursday, and that is the second leg against Real Sociedad at the Old Trafford. So maybe Manchester United have two games to think about within quick succession, but Arsenal, we really don't have to. The Manchester United game literally means that we have a big game coming up, but the PSV game at the Emirates, I think it will be on Wednesday, is just a friendly match. We have already qualified for the quarterfinals and it really means nothing. So I want to see Arsenal give their all in this game to build momentum. Now, in terms of this first 11, I would love to see a couple of changes, but then we have one problem. Mikel Arteta doesn't have the squad to actually rotate. So I think our starting 11 is going to be the same that we saw against PSV, Nottingham Forest and West Ham. And I really don't have a problem with that. So it's going to be David Raya in goal. I think he's been one of the top goalkeepers in form this campaign. He's kept up in a couple of games. And I would say this is one of those games where he's going to have a holiday. I don't expect Manchester United to create a lot of problems for us. Now, under Ruben Amorim, they do create some chances and they can be a threatening side. But with Arsenal's backline and that midfield, we should be able to go and give them a hard time and give our goalkeeper quite a safe game. Now, at our back four, there's a couple of questions on people who say, why is Ben White not playing? Why is Julian Timber still playing at right back? Why don't we use Timber at left back and then White at right back? I don't know what your thoughts are in this one, but I really prefer White at right back. I want right back to come. I want White to come back in the team, and I think White as a player, he gives us something very different at right back, something that the likes of Julian Timber, the likes of Tomiyasu actually don't, and that is the ability to give us that overlapping run over a player like Ethan Nwaneri, Bukayo Saka, and obviously just allowing Nwaneri to cut inside while distracting the fullback. So if we can get Ben White to come back in this game, I would really appreciate it. But also, in this game, we are going to deal with Alejandro Garnacho. Obviously, Garnacho is not in his best form or the form of his life, but Manchester United, when they're turning to some players to save them, they'll turn to Kobe Mainu, Bruno Fernandes, and Alejandro Garnacho. So I think Ben White can deal with Garnacho very well and also deal a heavy blow on the other end by bringing in quality crosses, especially with Mikel Merino down through the middle. With the left back, it's a little bit debatable. Ricardo Calafiori is good. He's very, very versatile, and his ability to carry the ball is really impressive. The problem with him, and the problem I have with such players, especially when they're defenders, their defensive output is at times questionable. So when you look at a player like Lewis Kelly and you look at a player like Julian Timber, they are very, very calm on the ball, they're very calm off the ball, and their defensive output is really satisfying. But on the other end, they're not going to give you the same kind of output a player like Ricardo Calafiori does. He goes forward, he runs, he creates chances, he creates pathways, and he does those selfless runs that players like Trossard are always going to benefit from. So do we play Ricardo Calafiori at left back, or do we play Julian Timber at left back? In my opinion, yes, Manchester United are really good, but I think Ricardo Calafiori, this is your game. It's time to go against a team that is lacking confidence, and then we create something epic. I mean, we've beaten PSV, we have thumped Manchester City. Manchester United could be the next ones. At centre back, William Saliba and Gabriel obviously will stay. I don't see a problem in changing them. I don't see a problem in keeping them either. So if the manager decides I'm going to rotate it a little bit, rest Saliba or rest Gabriel, I'm okay. But I would really want to see them both on the pitch on Sunday. In midfield, we have had a bit of consistency with Partey, Rice, and Odegaard, and I would really want to keep that. Obviously, if we're to make any changes, it would be Mikel Merino dropping into the midfield or Ethan Nwaneri dropping into the midfield. I don't think we want to see any of that. The one change I would make in this game in midfield would be Jorginho coming on for Partey. Let me explain. The reason as to why I would go with Jorginho over Partey is because in this game, we already have control of the midfield. Manchester United are really struggling in midfield. They only have one player that is showing up these days, and that is Bruno Fernandes. So, in my opinion, just go with Jorginho. Let him be fluid. Let us be fluid as possible, because we know Jorginho is so good at those, sliding passes. So if we can get Jorginho on the ball as much as we can, with the likes of Declan Rice and the likes of Martin Odegaard, we could actually be cooking. So that would be my midfield. Going up top, I might actually decide on a change, but I'm going to say, why change something that is already working? I would love to see a player like Raheem Sterling be given enough football and enough time, but Raheem Sterling is really a disappointment at the time. So I don't think that any changes to him are going to happen in the Manchester United game. So we better keep Nwaneri on the right, Trossard on the left, and Mikel Merino in the middle. And I think Mikel Merino might actually have one of the best games of his life. The reason for that is Manchester United have been struggling to deal with aerial threats. Not only against Arsenal, when we scored 2 goals against them, and both of them were headers, but actually a couple of clubs have come to Manchester United, or they have hosted Manchester United, and they've just beaten them just by using aerial duels. So if Arsenal can actually put that ball in the air right at the right time, Mikel Merino might score a hat-trick in this game. I'm just saying. So what is the purpose of this game? Personally, I think this game is for building momentum. We have beaten PSV 7-1, and we are in high spirits. We are in high, motivation. All you want to do is keep winning. Not because we are chasing Liverpool, and that's why I think this is going to be a very difficult game for Manchester United. Arsenal are not really chasing Liverpool, and we are also not worried about PSV coming at home at the Emirates, because that is the job done. So all we have to do is focus on this Manchester United game, and I won't be surprised if we hear scorelines like Arsenal 4, Manchester United 0, or Arsenal 5, Manchester United 1. So personally, unless you disagree with me, I kind of feel like this game is just to boost the morale of the team, keep us winning, and make sure that whatever happens, the team keeps winning. How do you beat Manchester United? I think that's one thing that Mikel Arteta is going to be asking himself and scratching his head. I know many people are going to say that is easy. Show up and you beat Manchester United. But there are also games where Manchester United have been difference makers, especially when they played against Liverpool last year. We all thought Manchester United are going to be crushed, maybe 3-1, maybe 4-1. They actually went away with a draw. A draw that didn't deserve them because they deserved a win. Harry Maguire, had he turned that goal-scoring opportunity into a goal, Liverpool could have been telling a different story by now. But that is if, and that is also in the past. But the point I'm trying to make is that Manchester United can show up and they can surprise you, especially under Ruben Amorim. So what I want to say with how to beat Manchester United, first and foremost, we're very good at set pieces and they're very bad. So if Arsenal can really capitalize on our ability to score set pieces in this game, it might actually come in handy. Now, obviously, we shouldn't go throw in set pieces, corners, free kicks, and then boom, we shall win. I'm saying we can create other chances. We can create many chances, but one of the avenues for you to hurt this Manchester United side is using area balls and set pieces. There's no question that they're among the worst teams in the Premier League this campaign in defending set pieces. The second way you can hurt Manchester United is quick football. And this was a very good example when Bournemouth entirely decimated Manchester United. The one thing we know about Bournemouth under Andoni Iraola, they're very quick. Their passing is quick, their wingers are quick, and their football is very quick. Hell yeah, they did beat Arsenal this season, and I think next season they can even still beat us. They're such a very good team. But one thing we learned from them against Manchester United is United can't cope with quick quality football. I mean, Arsenal have always been slow in terms of, passing it around. But if we can make it quicker, if we can play football that is hard for Manchester United to track, we might actually have a hidden advantage against them. So I think quick football and set pieces, that is one thing, or those are two things actually, that Manchester United are going to struggle with if Arsenal show up with them. And lastly, the midfield is going to be key. I think with Manchester United, they have tried to invest a lot of money in their midfield in the last 2-3 years. It has just failed to work out. The likes of Casemiro, Eriksen, Amrabat, Bruno Fernandes, and the likes of Mason Mount, they have really tried to bring some midfielders together, but it has never clicked. So with Manchester United, if you're Arsenal, what you want to do, you already know that you're better than them in the midfield, and their midfield is kind of weak. What we can actually do is go there and suffocate them using the middle of the pack. I think we have athletic players like Odegaard, Declan Rice, and Thomas Partey, and we also have very technical players in Rice, Odegaard, and Partey. So I think we can dominate the midfield, we can create decent chances, and we can embarrass them at their own ground while their fans are watching. So my prediction in this one is quite funny. I've gone with Arsenal 3, Manchester United 1. Let me explain. The reason why I've gone with 3-1 is simple. I think Arsenal will concede a goal. Manchester United are at home and they always find a way of scoring against us. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but I reckon they might find a way. But I think it's going to be an open game. Manchester United have their focus on Real Sociedad coming up on Thursday, and Arsenal have their focus on this game. So United will be open. They will try to go through this game in any way they can so they can focus on the next one. And Arsenal will want to capitalize on this opportunity to get back to winning ways in the Premier League. So that's why I've gone with 3-1, and with my goal scorers being Odegaard, Nwaneri, and Trossard. Now, I've gone with Odegaard, Nwaneri, and Trossard because Trossard is in form, Nwaneri is cooking, and Odegaard scored twice against PSV. I won't be surprised if he gets another. But even if he doesn't, I think we might get a goal from Mikel Merino. I think Mikel Merino could have scored and should have scored against Manchester United in the first leg. I won't be surprised if it scores now. So that is my preview. Arsenal versus Manchester United. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Let me know about your predictions in the comment box below, and we'll speak to you very, very soon. Ciao.